So an AI agent with cognition, operation, tactics, and assistance capabilities. That's how Koda got its name?
Yes, who wouldn't want an AI teammate like this? We've designed a dual-layer system to separate strategy from execution. Commander sends clear strategy intent. Operator translates that into micro actions and can ultimately achieve below 100 millisecond latency at the operator and execution level. If AI can operate in an intense, uncertain, and complex environment like FPS, it can be carried over to the real world.
Is this the same to real idea that we often talked about?
Exactly. In body AI, you can think of COTA as a robot brain waiting for a body.
Imagine your AI teammates forming squads, reading enemy positions, and coordinating team strategy in an FPS game, while letting you, the player, see how they think and react in real time. That's COTA. We've just launched the world's first FPS demo integrating chain of thought reasoning into LLM-driven AI agents, so players can team up with or compete against AI that reacts in under 100 milliseconds. Joining me today is Jeff Zhou, Vice President of GameBot, to break down COTA and how it pushes game AI into a new frontier and establish a proving ground for real-world AI. Welcome, Jeff.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So the first big question for you, why LLM, given that small models can already handle the majority of gaming scenarios right now?
You're right. At GameBot, we've already spent years training small models with reinforcement learning across different genres. Traditional RL is precise, but also relatively predictable. As LLMs learn across domains, the stronger reasoning and adaptability are opening up new possibilities for game AI.
Yeah, we were just talking about this earlier. Large models can even be more flexible and adaptable sometimes.
Exactly. We don't want to just train AI to play games. We want it to understand the rules and make decisions based on reasoning, then execute with precision to support human. In that sense, LLM-based game AI might be bringing us closer to the kind of AGI people want in game worlds.
So an AI agent with cognition, operation, tactics, and assistance capabilities. That's how Koda got its name?
Yes, who wouldn't want an AI teammate like this?
But FPS is brutal when it comes to speed. LLM, they usually take seconds to think. That's far too slow for millisecond level scenarios like FPS. And then top players, they usually need to pull 5 or more meaningful actions within a second. If AI can't match that rhythm, it will just feel off immediately.
A large language model makes decisions by predicting the next most likely token. It searches through a massive knowledge space, word by word, to decide what should come next. So from the model's perspective, an intense FPS match is like a turn-based X game. A simple move like sliding and shooting is a whole script it has to think through.
So basically it's trying to write an essay, while it should just be pulling off a trigger.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we can't use them as what it is. We want to leverage its reasoning power, but they also need to react faster.
But how do you actually make it work?
We've designed a dual-layer system to separate strategy from execution. At the top, we have the commander, which handles slower macro-level reasoning, such as attack, rotate, or retreat. Below, that is the operator, which executes those decisions fast and precise at the micro level, such as shooting, moving, or taking cover.
So both layers, they are based on LLMs, but they were trained independently?
You got it. We use specialized game data to train both and can ultimately achieve below 100 millisecond latency at the operator and execution level, if not considering fairness constraints.
That sounds insane. That's almost 2 times faster than the average pro player's reaction time of about 200 milliseconds. So the commander and operator, they were basically trained in 2 parallel tracks, but were as one in-game?
Yes, that decoupling in training is what makes the speed possible. They run independently in-game, but stay in close coordination.
So how do they communicate in-game with each other?
Through compact, structured commands. Commander sends clear strategy intent, and operator translates that into micro actions while still reacting to what it sees or encounters in real time.
So the operators, they don't just blindly following others?
Not at all. It constantly adapts to player behavior, movement patterns, picks, grenades, pressure, and blends that with the strategy it's being given.
And then with strategy and action, they get me visualizing again through that display of chain of thoughts. I think that's the part I love the most about COTA because it really transforms the play experience. Because when I saw something like the enemies are at A, but my teammates at B are exposed, so I will have to go cover them first. It's just not feeling scripted anymore. And I was like, oh, that's why they did that.
True, game AI used to be a black box, but with COTA, you get real transparency. You can see exactly how AI is thinking. They feel more grounded and logical instead of robotic. It builds trust between humans and AI and could eventually pave the way for a more open, dynamic, and interactive game world in the future.
Developers are going to love that transparency. So how can COTA actually help them?
In the past, tuning AI was like adjusting a radio through a wall. You twist a knob, hear a fuzzy result, and have no idea what's happening inside.
And right now, you're able to see that signal taking shape inside.
Exactly. Say you want the AI to play more aggressively, you don't just tweak the knob. With COTA, you can see it's holding back because it thinks the threat is too high. You understand its intent, then you can adjust its reasoning.
So you're actually tuning its mind, not just randomly adjusting numbers.
Yes, and all of that reasoning is locked and traceable. It's incredibly useful for us to debug, balance test, and level up the gameplay.
So players got smarter teammates and developers have better tools and the whole system becomes more transparent.
That's the idea. An intelligent partner that communicates and has nothing to hide.
So COTA was trained in one of the most demanding environments possible, the FPS. Where does something like COTA go next?
This architecture works across genres. For a mobile game, the commander plans team tactics and operator handles the team fight. For a strategy game, the commander manages resources for the operator to distribute them.
Have you thought about broader applications that go beyond games, given the potential of LLMs?
Absolutely. We are building a new layer of intelligence, one that can reason, adapt, and interact meaningfully within complex environments. We use FPS games as a stress test. If AI can operate in an intense, uncertain, and complex environment like FPS, it can be carried over to the real world.
Is this a seem to real idea that we often talked about?
Exactly. A good example is embodied AI. You can think of COTA as a robot brain waiting for a body. In FPS game, we turn high-level intense like cover a teammate into instant precise actions. That is the same as telling a robot to pour a glass of water.
That's pretty impressive. I guess there's so much more in the game roles we can do to actually simulate those real-world scenarios.
I think so. And games also give us something else, data. Real-world data is incredibly expensive and risky to collect. In robotics, for example, you are dealing with the hardware costs, operating costs, data labeling, and sometimes serious trial and error risk, like in autonomous driving. Games give us a virtual sandbox where we can simulate extreme scenarios at a very low cost and generate a massive amount of high-quality interaction data. That allows us to stress test complex problems in a safe, controlled environment before real-world deployment.
That's fantastic. I'm really excited to see what COTA takes AI next. If you want to experience COTA yourself, our demo is live. Sign up at the website below to join a 5v5 match with AI. This is GameBot. We're crafting roles where games think, adapt, and engage. Thanks for watching.